Pride In is a series that celebrates the diverse and amazing characters and people from the LGBTQ community. They range from new and upcoming activists to long-standing movers and shakers in the LGBTQ community, just doing what they do and being proud of it. And we research these people and write biographies about them. And it's all about what they do and why we should celebrate what they do. Yeah, much like Pride itself.
So a brief introduction to Pride In is basically just one giant celebration, which is how we designed it to be. This series covers lots of different people in different areas, such as the arts, STEM, change, so people that have been protesting, and also in sport as well. We just wanted this to be inclusive and diverse as it possibly can be. So it includes everybody from all different aspects of the LGBTQIA+. And we wanted to make sure that children who are either going through something or have friends that are, this will hopefully help them understand a little bit more, but also be able to look up to people from all different backgrounds and be inspired by them. I had the idea to create a book that was inclusive to the whole LGBTQIA+ community, that children could refer to if they felt that they were part of that, or even if they wanted to be an ally, and a series that would just be diverse for everybody and every child, really. If they were going through something and they felt that they wanted to have somebody to look up to, or people that they could see that were successful even though they were gay or they were trans, then this would be their go-to book. And the book, I guess, is kind of personal to me. I'm part of the LGBT community, and I think because Book Life we haven't produced any books really that cover it, I really wanted to be the person to kind of work on it. It's a book that doesn't necessarily look like it's a gay book, for example, or talking about how you should feel or what you should do. It's more about, we want every child to look at it and pick it up, whether they are gay, straight, or whether they're not sure. It's a book that's open for every child, and it doesn't matter whether you are an ally or part of it.
And also that they can be successful, like they've got positive role models and they've done great things and they've made changes in their fields, whether that's like as a chemistry professor or winning Olympic medals, or even just like promoting change and setting up charities. Like there's so much, and they're doing such amazing things, and we just wanted to really show that off. I think that's where we kind of landed on with the series, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's so nice.
We also share a great love for RuPaul's Drag Race, and obviously naturally RuPaul is in our book, which is probably one of my favourite spreads, but
yeah, I think that's the first thing we decided on, wasn't it? We were like,
RuPaul's going in there wherever. He's going in the arts one, definitely. Yeah, so I know that Emily is, and like everybody at Book Life actually, they're all allies, and I've always been really supportive of everything that I've done. One of the aims that I felt that needed to be with the books was just to make sure that they were inclusive to everybody. So we've covered a whole range of people from LGBTQIA+ community. So Emily was really great in researching everybody and making sure that it was a whole lineup of different people from completely different backgrounds. So obviously we've got different areas, arts and STEM, change, and sports, but also making it show that there's people not just from the UK, which is obviously where our publishers are based, but it's people from also around the world with different disabilities as well, and different ethnicities, which was really important to us. And the fact that children all have different backgrounds, and I wanted them to see themselves in people when they were looking through these books, so they really could believe that they could do anything and be anybody that they wanted to be. We chose these 4 titles because, well, they're quite broad, so there's lots of people in the arts, there's lots of people in STEM, lots of people in sport, and obviously change. But because they're children's books, we felt that if you're a child learning about history, then in Change you can then research people that have been part of the Stonewall riots, and obviously like Marsha P. Johnson, who've been protesting also for Black Lives Matter, as well as everything else to do with the community. But also in sport, we found that there wasn't that many people that we knew of in sport that had come out, or that we knew much about them. So this was an area that we felt like children should really learn about, people, and even people that aren't perhaps as well known as others. They don't get as much coverage in the media, and in sport obviously it's harder to come out, and there's a different battle that they're fighting compared to somebody that's in the arts or in STEM. Like STEM, for example, there's not very much about people. We don't read very much about people that have created a microchip, or have been part of an experiment, or found a cure for cancer. So we felt like the people and the book titles had to reflect these areas that we felt had been neglected.
Yeah, and we wanted the books to be able to be used in like lots of different ways. So like if they were in a classroom and they were learning like chemistry or STEM or any of those subjects, and they had to write a report on someone, or they were learning about a particular area, you can go and look at the Pride in STEM book and just get a different set of people to research, and there's people in the STEM book that have done amazing things for like science, as well as LGBTQ people in STEM, women in STEM, like amazing things. They've just done so many things, as well as like just revolutionized biology.
There are several people in the books that I think is I kind of love everyone in the book. I know that sounds
really... it's like if you had children, it's like I love them all.
Yeah.
Like, they're all amazing.
But obviously naturally there's people that I think maybe have been relevant or more relevant in my life, for example. That might be why I was a massive, my dad was a massive fan of Queen, so I love Freddie Mercury. So his spread I loved anyway, and I actually really loved designing his jacket.
I love all of those as well. I'm just gonna say, yeah, the Billy, especially you designed the Billy Porter spread so well, with his amazing tux dress. It's like one of our. We're so proud of that spread. I think that looks fantastic. And yeah, you're right. Hopefully it will really help kids show that like gender is fluid and you can express yourself however you want to. So hopefully that will stick in their heads.
Jonathan from Queer Eye.
Yeah, Jonathan Van Ness.
As well, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So cool. But I think probably my two favourites are, I really liked Rosie Jones because she is just a hilarious comedian. Like first up, she's just so funny. But she's just doing so well. Like she's so outspoken about her like being part of the LGBTQ community and having a disability, and it was so refreshing to see. And I only became aware of her in like the last year, and now she's like one of my favorite comedians. So it was really nice to get her in there, and I was really happy about that. Well, it was quite a challenge. I knew it was an important task. I think as an ally, I knew I needed to make sure I was researching everyone so well and making sure I was using the pronouns that they would want me to use and language that doesn't offend anyone. So yeah, I felt a lot of pressure, but I did a lot of research. We went on a lot of charities' websites to kind of make sure we were up to date with like the latest language and like what's appropriate and what isn't, and just to be as inclusive as possible, and making sure that there's always like that caveat in the book that like just because this person identifies as this way and wants to use these pronouns or is happy with this label doesn't mean that everyone is. Some people don't like any labels, and like that's completely fine too, and it's just important to kind of get that sentiment out. We sent it to a couple of people just to read over, like members of the LGBTQ community, just to make sure that like they were happy, and that just to make sure, like some external editors, and I thank them so much because like I know I'm an ally, but you know when you need to ask for help. So I was really, really happy to have the possibility to do that.
I think most importantly for me when we came up with this series was that I just wanted children to feel positively represented but I also wanted children who wanted to be allies to know what they could do as well. And to include every child. So if your friend is gay, or you think your brother is transitioning or going to, I thought that I want them to be able to look at the books and know that they can be whoever they want to be.
Where I guess for me it was hoping that it would foster a feeling of acceptance of everyone, like regardless of difference. Like, we should celebrate individuality and we should celebrate difference, because that's what makes us amazing, and that's what allows these people to do amazing things in their like respective fields.
So to go alongside with the books that we designed for the Pride series, there are also lots of downloadables which teachers can download for their classroom. So we've got some bunting, free posters. Obviously there is one book that we've got as a free ebook, which is Pride in Change at the minute. There's also some wallpaper backgrounds and bookmarks that teachers, parents at home can download. There's lots still to upload, but we made extras to go alongside it, which are in the style of the book, but also help celebrate Pride Month, which obviously can be downloaded now or in the future when children go back to school. If there's a big old board in like one of the classrooms, there could be a big Pride section.
Yeah, and if you want to just have if you're homeschooling or even in the classroom, like, you download the ebook, get some activities for them to do, and just hopefully start discussions with it. I think that's kind of what we're hoping that we'll do, even with the colouring exercises. Like, you can talk about why it's a rainbow flag, and I think that's explained in the book as well. So just teach them all about why we use all the colours of the rainbow, and it's stuff like that will just be lovely to see people using that and starting some positive change, hopefully.
Even if this book just changes one child's life, for me, I feel like I will have accomplished so much.